Hello, everyone, and welcome back
All of his
to
co-workers were
more
gone. What
of the
could it
Stanley
mean?
Parable.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
Yes,
a
but not
memo.
without a bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not with the bucket
Okay, this
around.
is different. Interesting. Okay, I guess it's just
Stanley
a little
clutched the
different.
bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
But I'm defiant, so
This
no.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply
I want to get the
place to
collectible
be.
statue.
And here it was. Had
I
the
know there's
bucket
one
turned
over
out to
here.
be correct? Never mind. The
The
bucket,
bucket was
wrong.
wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
So was the narrator.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Can I fall down from here? Aha! Okay. There we go.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Sure. I like seeing words. So, can I just jump down? I mean, that is technically an ending, right? But I don't feel like it'd be any different with the bucket. Ah, there's only one way down anyway. Oh, wait, no. I can't go back. I can't believe I almost just jumped off. Silly. Oh, so silly. You can load? Hello? What? Is this an ending? Huh. Not what I was expecting, but okay. Here we are. I was gonna jump off the edge. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything here. Oh?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know.
I can't move the camera, by the way. I'm
I've lost
stuck.
track. Nothing feels real anymore. The
Camera zooming.
longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
That fucking makes sense. You don't make
The
sense.
sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down,
Ooh, I love the bucket.
it doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why
The
everything
bucket.
feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Size the bucket.
Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
You're right. Gosh,
This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
is it the bucket? Well, that's fascinating. And terrifying. Okay, so this next thing I want to try might mean nothing. But I want to try it, and also, I don't think this particular one I want to try
How
would make
wonderful.
a
Stanley
difference.
was alone. Finally.
Oh,
This is
maybe it's
great,
different.
he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
As I was trying to say before unique dialogue from narrator kicked in, I don't think it matters if I take the bucket or not, which of course means I'm taking the bucket.
Old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
So I'm gonna go down
Stanley clutched the bucket
quote-unquote
tightly to
correct
his
path for a
chest
while.
and entered the door on his left.
At least for now. I'm very curious about these figurines. I can figure it out. Maybe we are the collectibles. To my concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular audio sources using an array of curly microphones, also known as directional mic. Microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noises. Data above showed that in all likelihood, it's coming from the dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looks like a reverberance off of a porcelain surface. I don't have any leads on this. Arrow pointing to it. What did you like to know? Shut the fuck up. Difficult findings. This is great. I love that they turned this entire room into just a
Stanley, we
collectibles.
must move on from this broom closet.
I like the
simply
broom
because
closet.
I have no remaining. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Hey, yeah, alright. I'm keeping it recorded for now. But actually, I'm curious. Is there anything different here? Nah, I'm gonna stay on track for now for what I was gonna do.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yep.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Yes, the bucket
Was
did
the
know.
bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Go back down. And we head on down. Again. I love this elevator. Okay, so this might be nothing.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead
But-
through the large door that read Mind Control
Okay,
Facility.
so in this room there's a couple of desks, including this first one I noticed you can stand on top of. My last playthrough, like you can just wiggle, yeah, you can wiggle up your way like this. And it looks like you can just fall off. Whoops!
But just as Stanley was about to
It's
proceed
intended, yes!
further into the
Good.
mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Is this the infinite hole?
So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path.
Never.
It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake.
No, it
I
wasn't.
need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Oh, back in room number 227? Or 427? I can't count. Well, what to do next? First off, we're obviously taking the
Where
bucket.
are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley
We're
had
gonna
felt
take
the
the
bucket calling
lift
to him,
elevator
telling
this
him
time.
that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Sorry,
Stanley took
bucket.
the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Just making sure there's no collectibles. Do nothing. It seems like they've replaced every ending, so let's just go
Good
to all the ones I've done so
Stanley,
far.
I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this
It's the
place
baby again.
eventually.
I missed the line. We care about you,
You
Stanley.
see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about
The
you very
line,
much.
wife, and broom
It's
closets.
this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line?
desperately want to
We
go
could
to the
make
Broom
the
Closet when
Adventure
we're
Line
able
go
to
somewhere
come off.
new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
I'm kind of disappointed that you don't have any lines involving the broom closet this time. It's like, really, even here? But nah.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Well, you played silly music, but then you turned it off. Also, I'd also like to remind you that you put off the path from the silly line because you didn't like where it was going. Raw assets.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Ew. What is
Don't
this
you get it,
place?
Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No!
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Well, we're obviously not
I think
using
it'll
Bucket
make a
Destroyer.
wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
Kill Stanley.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now
God,
listen
we
to
really
me.
shut this off.
It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see,
not
if
good for
you
all
were
the
to
characters.
really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quicker now! The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Wake up my bucket. It's worth it. Anything for bucket. We obey bucket.
Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Well, now I'm going to go back and do it again, but I'm going to destroy the bucket.
Stanley, he was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
As fast as I can move my camera. Oh, you're really good at hiding out of view, aren't you? Little bugger. I'm in the corner of a wall. You can't stay out of my vision forever. Fine.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the office.
Go back here, and I'm gonna skip forward. Wait a minute. Okay, so the intro's a little different this time. Yeah, I know I was in the middle of thing for. Problem is, my computer blue screened. Like literally right after the spot you just saw, it blue screened. It really does not want the bucket going down there. Naturally, of course, this means I'm going to take the bucket down there, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Opposite door.
It's just like this thing right here is what I saw for. I thought this was a ventilation shaft. It wasn't. It's just a painting. So, just yeah. I guess when moving, it kind of looks like it could have been a thing. I understand where I made my mistake. All right. And yeah, I paused in the middle of that explanation because my controller wasn't working.
Your way here. I knew you'd find this place
so
eventually.
you can skip
You
through
see,
this.
your friends and I are... Don't you get it, Stanley?
Alright, so we're
We
here
need to
again,
get rid
and
of
this
the
time I'm
bucket.
gonna commit
That's
an
why I'm
unforgivable
very
sin.
proud to
You didn't
introduce
see
a brand
anything,
new
neither did I.
character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Now, I'm curious.
I think it'll make a wonderful
What happens
new
if I
addition
walk
to the
backwards
rich lore
into
of the
it?
Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the
Open the
cast
door.
all along. Don't you agree? Can
Open
you
the
guess
gate.
what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't
Destroy
need me to spell
Stanley's.
it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine.
That should have been ended. The Stanley walks to the Bucket Destroyer ending.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets
I don't
is
actually
all
know
it
how
knows. That
to give
is
it.
its singular personality trait. sure I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters?
So, I don't actually know how to give it to
If you were to
Bucket.
really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say
now
that
all I
about?
can do is just
Room closet,
change the
certainly
angle on it a
not.
little bit.
I wonder what sort of Bucket
Well,
Destroyer
okay.
merchandise the fans will be
So I
clamoring
blue
for
screened
after
my
this.
computer for
Okay,
nothing.
the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We
I'm
can't
trying.
get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly
Well,
now. The
I guess the
fans
game
are
needs
waiting.
those for
Do
me.
it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Well, okay. And yeah, okay, this is just the same, I think.
I think perhaps we've gotten off
So
on the
I'm
wrong
back in
foot
this
here.
room again, because if you remember,
I'm
there's
not
something
sure
here
if
that I
maybe
could
I
do,
don't
and
know.
no bucket
I
either.
realize that investing your trust in someone
Remember, there's a
else can be
two-way split. I
difficult, but
believe
the
I took the
fact
blue
is that the
doors, but there's
story
still a
has
red
been
door.
about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in
I'm
the
gonna go
middle
here.
of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that
Yeah.
convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yeah.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look,
Like the
let me
statue.
prove it. You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very
That is
soon,
painful.
you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense
Ooh.
that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Okay,
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley
Okay.
walked through the red door.
alright, I shall obey.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
I'm just waiting for the
The
pressure to
problem
come
is all
down.
these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here.
Oh, so
running and
here's the
running
trap.
and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution.
Leaves.
Here, let me show you.
Okay, I entered the door.
Hmm. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here.
Base.
Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
It's a good place.
I actually feel happy.
I like it. The aliens are coming to abduct us. They are 100% coming to abduct us. We're gonna start flying any second now. They just think we're a cow. Oh, and now we got the multicolored blocks. This room's gonna be a bitrate killer on YouTube, but I'm sorry. YouTube already doesn't like dark black rooms, and having all these bright contrasting colors is not going to help it one bit. Okay. This looks very nice, but can we go back? Oh, there's more? No, it's green lights instead of blue lights. Yeah, the blue lights are gone, so... Okay. What are the green lights gonna do? They're just gonna spin around? No narration? Just spinning lights? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go back.
No, wait. Where are you going?
The rain room was boring.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose
Yeah.
all of this.
Is there a way to fall off?
No, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I've thought about it, and I think it's a really good idea. I can't jump, but maybe I can land on that part of the stairs. Oh, I messed up. Hey, no. Okay, I'm gonna get it. Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm fine.
thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment.
Let's go back to
Now,
the screen
Can
room.
we please get back to the other room?
Still a different room now. It's all
There.
red now.
See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy.
Back
We
to the
really
regular
can.
room.
If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Yeah, moving. Why would you ever want to move? Okay, back to jumping off of the really tall building ladder.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this. No, no, what are you doing, Stan? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
Pretty room, but it's a boring room. This is way more fun. Whee!
Stanley,
Let's start it.
let's go back to the other
Okay.
room. Can you do that for me?
He sounds actually
Yes.
sad.
Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
Back to the rate killer.
I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
It is a nice place. I like it here. Okay, this room's boring. Back to the ladder.
No, perhaps not.
Then eventually. My only guess is like, was my walk speed reduced? Like, it makes sense. Of
My
course, like, I'm
God.
jumping off the
Is
stupid
this
ladder.
really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get a... Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
You have nothing left to say
I
over
wanted
here
us to
anymore.
be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
That's all you have to say? Okay. Back we go! To the retreat! Yeah! Back to the ladders! Climb those stairs! Climb those stairs! To the side! To the side! Still giving me silent treatment. Are you still upset that I cut you off? Well, nothing left to do, but... Whee!
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Yep. And guess what? We're going to go back to that room again, but with a bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In
True.
time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chin. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Yeah, it's true.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling
That's also
him
true.
that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
So I'm curious if I'm going to
Stanley
hear the
took the
bucket
door
talk to me
left
again here,
to
because
go
this is where
back
it
to the
starts
meeting room.
before.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had
So
spoken
you
to
haven't
him, and
changed
he
your dialogue.
unthinkingly did
Huh.
whatever the bucket asked.
So this room is the same so far.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley,
Oh,
how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless,
Well,
what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
well, the problem is I don't know how to
I
read.
suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
Well, what's a
Please,
bucket?
step in here for a moment.
Okay. I would like to learn about buckets. Alright. Is this a
Now,
bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simply enough,
course,
right? This should tell us
in our
everything
world,
we'll
everything's
ever
a bucket.
need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Yeah, it's a bucket.
Is this a bucket?
Yeah!
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Everything is a bucket. You're a bucket, I'm a bucket.
Item 2.
Okay.
Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an
Then it's still a
actual
bucket. Nah, I call it bull, man. That's still a bucket.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
Okay.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
I was waiting for the weird questions.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor.
No, everything
it's
is a
an enormous
bucket.
machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Everything is a bucket. Report now.
Is this a bucket?
You better believe it is.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Yes. Don't be further.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What? Oh, okay.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore
But everything
nothing
is a
could possibly
bucket.
be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Always say yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat
I don't know
adrift.
anymore.
Do any
Everything's
of us know
bucket.
what a bucket is?
This is
Am
great.
I a bucket? Stanley,
Yes.
I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart.
Well, I
can't
tried
let
to
that.
destroy
I'm
it, but the
sorry,
game wouldn't let me.
but I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay.
Wait, that means you have
Here we
to
go.
delete everything. Because everything's a bucket. Or nothing's a bucket. I don't know.
What happened? Is everything gone?
See,
How
everything's
did
a
everything
bucket.
disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Yes,
Every
thank you for
single thing in the game
understanding.
was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea.
At least you're still here.
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at
Screw.
ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell
Well,
you
games
what,
and buckets are the same
I'll
thing, really.
reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Sure.
Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay,
All of his
I have a
co-workers were
curiosity.
gone.
What if I
could it
go with the
mean?
bucket?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Not everyone is so lucky to have
And
a
then
bucket,
maybe
but
I
Stanley
can
is
go
a very
and
lucky
take
fellow.
the bucket back and just say
Very lucky indeed.
nothing is a bucket anymore.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chin. This was not the... And you'll tell me whether or
Back
not
here,
the thing
now
I'm showing
this
you
time
is
nothing's
a
bucket. There's no such thing as
Simple enough,
buckets.
right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Nope.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
There's no buckets here. No such thing as a bucket. Don't be silly.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Nope, no buckets here.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Nope. Not possible. There's no buckets here.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay,
Well, about that.
Is this a bucket?
Nah, no buckets.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
So you look, it looks just like a bucket, except to know that there's no such thing as a bucket.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Ah.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Doesn't matter, there's no buckets here.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true.
Well,
Unless-
not that.
Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No, nothing's a bucket. There's no such thing as buckets.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do
What
any
is
of us
bucket?
know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
No, there's no buckets.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the
It's
game.
okay, the game will stay
entirely.
unchanged.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so
What
I guess this
happened?
ending is the
Is
same.
everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
Everything's
was
still a bucket.
everything a bucket?
Yes.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket
No buckets
either.
here?
Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now.
Yay!
It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the
It was
fact
tearing me up a
that we
bit.
haven't got a game. So, tell you what.
Well,
I'll
games
reset
are apparently
everything.
buckets, even though there's
We'll
no such
put
thing as a
back
bucket.
all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
What about that Matilda lady? Is she a bucket? Does she qualify as a
Even
bucket?
now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley
I'm gonna
checked
go
his
to
ego
the
and
not
then
Stanley
proceeded.
thing. You know, worth the phone,
Stanley
but you
clutched the
unplug it.
bucket tightly to his
Because it
This
seems
was
like
not
every
the correct
ending
way to the meeting room,
before.
but Stanley had felt
which-
the bucket calling
I've
to
covered
him,
most of
telling
those
him
endings
that
I've
the
done.
employee
There's
lounge was
a
simply
few
the place
left
to
that I
be.
didn't.
And
There's the
here it
escape
was.
route.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No.
There's
Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
I guess there's the
Stanley
fall off
took
the
door on his
lift.
left
Does that even
to go
count as an
back to the
ending?
meeting room.
No, screw it.
No,
Let's do the
said
fall
the
off
bucket.
the lift.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Thanks. I think. Wait, what? Where am I?
All of his co-workers were gone.
This
What
isn't
could it
normal.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle
As long as I
embrace.
still have the bucket, it's fine, I
Protective,
guess.
Yet delicate, assertive, yet compassionate.
All right.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was
Now
not the
I'm
correct
gonna
way
go
to the
do what I
meeting
said I was
room.
gonna do.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the
Start
place
talking to me
be.
again. I need to hear from the
And
bucket.
here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket
Bucket's
was wrong.
wrong. Aw.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not
Yes.
question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It
Nor
should
should
have
you.
alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not
Well,
to
my
think
buckets
about
can
this
talk.
obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I think about it all the time, in fact. You don't have to be
In
jealous
here,
of this
said the
talking bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously,
always
the
obey
bucket,
the bucket.
isn't talking to you and telling you to do things.
Yes, it
Buckets
is.
can't talk.
It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it, but there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
There's plenty. Have
it's
you ever heard
sitting
of this
right
little site
here.
called
Let's take a
YouTube?
look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more
Comedic timing can
importantly,
be used to
can it be
political
taught in
enemies?
its entirety within 90 seconds?
Oh, no, that might be
Thankfully,
pushing
the
it.
answer to all of these questions is yes.
Woohoo!
Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it
Simpsons?
while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm Dunny with the funny! I'm Dunny with the funny. I'm Dunny with the funny. I'm
Good.
Dunny with the funny.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone
I
of good
can't get
comedy.
Simpsons out of my head. My Simpsons
Finally,
yellow characters.
it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all.
Oh, but
Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, with each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles, all of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
May Earth reign supreme. I'm Dunny with the funny.
Thank goodness this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay. So do I have to walk all the way back to the apartment? Or the work cubicle?
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery.
You
You'll
left
be in
the
stitches.
railing
A
here.
talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
The bucket? Listen, do not lie. If you're lying, stop right now. Right, so here's the break room. Just disappointingly never broken on me. I think they're, well, at the very least, they're going to make me walk back to there at the two doors.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
So what if I just go to the door on the left now and I just ruin his day? No, I'm not going to do that yet. Oh, what?
What?
Okay.
We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to
unplugged
be
still.
several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point.
It's
A
comedic
dramatic display of
timing.
remarkable comedic
I'm
wit
Johnny
which
with the
culminates
funny.
in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Uh-huh. Where's the... I'm still here.
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
The scene ended already.
Here we go. You ready?
They really don't want me to go to the
When
right, which is why I'm
Stanley
going
and
to
the
keep
bucket
going.
came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
You think I'm going to stop, Gabe? I think you're funny.
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
Okay, fine. They're going to repeat the same gag
Here
over
we
and over.
go.
Fine.
You
We'll go
ready?
to the left.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Fine.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the
Oh, I
phone.
tried
Did you
that.
not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the
whiteboard's back to
community of
normal.
other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All
It's
because
no,
you
it's
couldn't
not
watch a
freaking out
simple
over the
video and
collectibles
take
anymore.
a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you're not the
Oh, we're at this
one who
again.
writes like you. It's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes.
I'm glad that this
Let
is
me
the
try
scene
that
we get
again, Stanley.
separated and
I heard
I
that
guess,
you are pale with
it's,
shame
the
over
second
how
person,
unabashedly
technically.
in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's
Yes.
exactly what it is. That's
You need
what
more
makes me
videos.
the king of comedy again. More instructional videos.
It's true.
Let's see.
Alright, well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up for now. Thank you all for watching. There's still a few ideas left I can think of, Roots, but I'm starting to kind of run empty. Like, there's not really a lot left I can do, I think. There's the escape route, there's the thing in the boss's room with the elevator, and that's all I can really think of offhand. I know there's some, like, really weird / meta ones, like there's one you get for hacking the game. I think there's one you get for going out of bounds. Like, those are the ones I'm probably going to need guides for, because I'm never going to get them naturally. But, yeah, for now, thank y'all for watching. See y'all next time. Take care, stay safe, have a good one. Bye-bye for now.